Hi, how's it going? Okay. I am here because I want to do my normal makeup routine. I just want to change my foundation. I just want to try a new foundation. I don't know why I want to try a new foundation because my foundation that I use typically is perfectly fine. But YouTube made me do it, so whatever. Here we are, and I'm trying the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation in the color 3.3, which is supposed to be warm olive shade. I have no idea whether it's going to match me or not. We are going to find out today. All right, so I am going to use this. Let's see. Normally, I don't use a primer, so I will not because I want to give the foundation itself a true test. If I find that I need a primer, I will use one. But now, this is going to be controversial, everyone. I am not going to use a beauty blender. I'm going to use the foundation, but I'm not going to use the beauty blah, blah, blah. I am going to use Beauty Blender foundation, but not an actual beauty blender. So, this is what the container looks like. It has a push button on the top. This is the back. And this is the shade. Okay. There we go. And that's the shade 3.3. So, yeah, I'm using a brush. Get over it. Trigger alert. I'm not using a beauty blender. I am using my favorite brush. Like I said, I'm using my same routine with a different foundation. Okay? And I didn't say I was changing my routine. Using the same brush I always use works perfectly every time. That is the Real Techniques 001. With this foundation, it's supposed to like sit here on the thingamabobber. Yes, I'm making a lot of sense, right? Thingamabobber. If you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. And I'm gonna just use that as my plate and apply it. Hmm. Seems like the right color. This. Let me just get that because that was bothering me. I'm gonna do my brows in a minute, so I always put foundation on my brows. I don't know the reason why I do that. I just do. So on camera, the color is looking pretty good. When I get my mirror to do the blush and stuff like that, I'll be able to tell you what I think of it, like how it looks in person. Because right now I use the camera as my mirror, so I can't really tell. But it looks good to me so far. Not bad. The color, not bad. Okay. See a little cast here, but we'll see. I can't tell. Okay. So I'm going to apply some blush and highlight. Eh. Okay, so the first thing I can tell you off the top is this is a matte foundation, which I'm not mad, okay? There's nothing wrong with a matte foundation. I personally just like glowy foundations. So this is matte. That's okay. It's all right. It's not too matte though. It's not too bad. It's not like pasty matte. It did say it had a velvet matte, so I think that's pretty accurate. I am using the Revolution Praline palette for my what you call it. Now, last time I used Temper and it was way too dark. I'm gonna try Praline. Like usually I don't use a sparkly shade on my, as a contour, but I'm gonna try it today. Ooh, kick back like a mofo. Oh. Guess what we won't be doing again, ever. I'm gonna finish it out, but I will not do it again. Nope. Me no likey this one. I'm determined to find a contour shade from Revolution. I'm determined. I know I can do it. I'm gonna keep trying. But this is not it. This is orange. This contour, if you like a orangey orange, then this is it for you, buddy. You're the person who wants to, warm up your outside of your face or whatever they call it. Do that with this. do some highlighting. I'm going to use Bonbon. Bro. Okay. I think we're all blended out there. I am going to apply a tad bit of concealer, just a little bit. My concealer broke, so I'm using a brush. It's okay. I have a lot of discoloration here. So I'm just going to conceal that. And same on the other side. Okay. And then I'm going back to the Cotton Candy palette. I just love this palette. As I said, I use it quite often. It's so easy. Like you just swipe on a couple of colors and you're good to go. All right, so I am going to start with Fairgrounds as usual. I'm just going to put Fairground all in the crease. And then I want to put, what did I say I was going to do? I want to use the color called Pretty in Pastel, which is like, oh no, pause. I, I did use Fairgrounds from Cotton Candy palette, but I wanted to show you guys the Hot Chili palette. I'm going back. I'm going to Hot Chili. Ah, yeah. So I am trying something new. Oopsie, I lied. All right, this is the Hot Chili palette. And this is what the outside looks like. And I do have an extra one that's brand new that I am selling on Mercari if you are interested. So in the crease, I'm going with Cayenne right here. So that's just going to brighten up, or really deepen up Fairground. You can hardly see Fairground. You don't even know if it's there or not. Okay. Oh, Cayenne, hello. How are you? So Cayenne is in the building. And just spice that up a little bit. It's a dirty orange, just in case you were like wondering. More of a clay orange color. So I'm just blending that now so I don't have to blend it later. Next, I'm feeling like a sunset eye, so I'm going to start with red. I'm going to go with Red Hot. Red Hot, and that's if it comes out. Red Hot is this one. Let's see the pigmentation on Red Hot with no primer. I'm really testing myself, aren't I? And y'all, I don't even like red eyeshadow. I hope this comes out. Ooh. Wow. Okay. This pigmentation is pretty good. So I'm keeping it out of my tear duct area because I find that red in the tear duct makes you look like a zombie. So I'm keeping it away from there, but I'm putting the red on the whole eyelid. But I'm not going up into the crease with it because I'm going to transition it with a this beautiful yellow. It's called pepper. And if you find that you just need to do like one shade from this palette or one or two shades, that's perfectly fine. I have humongous eyeballs, so I got a lot of space. But don't despair. You can still get a similar look if you have smaller eyes. Just decrease the number of colors, because I realize that I'm doing too much. Because I already put cayenne. I'm going in with hot sauce and then pepper. Hot sauce is this orange color next to the yellow. So I'm going to put hot sauce on the edges of red hot. Like I said, I don't like red, so I'm not going to put too much red near the tear duct, nor am I going to put any on the outside corners. I'm going to use the oranges for that. The red is just for a pop of color on the interior. So I've got red, I've got orange. I want to transition to that pepper yellow color. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to hope that it has some pigmentation to it. Okay. It does. It does. It's giving me some yellow. I'm mad it's blended in because I'm already yellow. Okay, I am going to deepen up the crease with Chipotle, which is one of the, I think it's the only brown in the palette. Chipotle is here. So it's looking mustardy, but Chipotle's brown. I'm going to go in with Chipotle on the outer corners. And I'm mixing it with flames because I want to. I am going to grab a primer. And I'm going to prime the area where I want that red to pop. Going back in the red hot and just dab that over top of that primer. Because when I blended, I made it disappear. So I'm just bringing it back. I had forgotten to do my brows, so I'm going to do those now. Then I'll put an inner corner highlight and some mascara, and I think, then I'll just have to pick a lip color. I'm not sure. Okay, brow done. Dun, 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 dun. They're done. Oh, no more cooked. Now I'm done for real. So we are going to put contest, or should we put Scoville? Let's see. Oh, hot. That is. Scoville is so hot. Okay, we're going to go with Scoville. It's just, wow. Ah. All right, so I'm going to go in with Scoville. You know what? I can't help myself. I'm going to use Cheeky right here. I'm going to go from Cheeky to Scoville in the inner corner. I have to use it. And since this is kind of a sunset eye anyway, it's all good. Okay, and Scoville is a orangey gold, and we're going to slap that right into the inner corner. It just goes on the brush so nice. I was going to use Contest, but Scoville, it just applies better. Oh, I wish I could see up close like this, what I'm seeing. Wow. I'm thoroughly satisfied with this. I love it. Let me zoom in so you can see the final look a little bit more closely. Oh, forgot to highlight my brow bone. For that, I am going to use Contest. Wait, Hot Mess. I'm going to use Hot Mess for the brow bone highlight. Hot Mess is the lightest gold they got. It's actually one of the lightest shades in the whole palette. Slap that right up there. Okay, so there's that. So let me zoom you in. Okay, so this is the finished look. Hi. Okay, and for the lip, I am using Rimmel London Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker is like copper penny type color. Okay, so this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. I have another video on the way. It is going to be about, it's going to be a perfume video, this versus this, you know, fragrances that smell the same, the subtle differences between the two or three, depending on which one I put out. So go ahead and watch the next video. You know you want to. Won't be as long as this one, I promise. Bye.